Rabindranath Tagore, the first Asian to win the Nobel Prize, was a man ahead of his time. He was one of the most creative thinkers of his age in the country. The Bard of Bengal considered himself a poet, but he was more than that. He was a genius who touched all the art forms. He was a writer, composer, philosopher, and painter. He reshaped Bengali literature and music. He created a standard that has not yet been surpassed in Indian literary achievement. At the palatial mansion in Jorashanko, Calcutta, Tagore was born on 7th May 1861. As per the Bengali calendar, he was born on the 25th day of Boishakh month. In West Bengal, the day is popularly known as Pochishe Boishakh. Tagore was born as Rabindranath Thakur. Tagore's are Rahari Brahmins and their original surname was Kushari. In those days, Brahmins were often referred to as Thakur, meaning Lord. British, unable to articulate this unfamiliar name, pronounced it as Tagore. That is how they came to know as Tagores. Rabindranath was the youngest of 13 surviving children of Debendranath Tagore and Sharoda Devi. His nickname was Robi. The Tagore family was at the forefront during Bengal Renaissance. The family fortune reached its peak in the life of Rabindranath Tagore's grandfather Dwarkanath Tagore. He was one of the first Indian industrialists to form a partnership with British traders. Dwarkanath was extremely rich and lived lavishly. He set up a string of commercial ventures in many fields. His father, Debendranath, was a social reformer. He had been a distinguished leader of the Brahmo Samaj movement founded by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. The environment at his home was artistic. The spirit of creation was present in the whole atmosphere of their home. The Jorashanko house was full of poets, musicians, artists, and social reformers. His brother Satyendranath was the first Indian to break into the elite Indian civil services. His sister Swarna Kumari was the first woman novelist of Bengal. Another brother, Jyotirendranath, was one of the most accomplished men of his age. He was a dramatist, musician, and composer. As Rabindranath's father travelled widely and his mother had to look after a big joint family, he was raised mostly by servants. His mother also died in his early childhood. Tagore started writing poetry as an 8-year-old. When Rabindranath was 12, after his Upanayan ceremony, his father took him to the western Himalayas, visiting several places on the way. Their first halt was at Shanti Niketan, the site that will eventually become synonymous with him. This opportunity of close association with his father was the most formative influence on his mental and moral development. That was also his first experience amidst the open nature that he loved in any form and mood. At the age of 12, his first long poem, Abhilash, was published in the family journal without his name. His first public appearance was at 14, when a newspaper published his patriotic poem. Jyotirendranath's wife, Kadambari Devi, was a little older than Tagore. He was his playmate and later became his guiding star. Kadambari Devi was his muse and influenced his poetry. He had dedicated many of his poems to her. Tagore largely avoided classroom schooling and was educated at home under private tutors. His father, Debendranath, wanted him to become a barrister, so he was sent to England to complete his studies in 1878, but he left school, opting instead for independent learning of plays of Shakespeare. In 1880, he returned to Bengal with no academic degree, resolving to reconcile European novelty with Brahmo traditions, taking the best from each. After returning to Bengal, Tagore regularly published poems, plays, and novels. In 1883, at 22 years old, he married 10-year-old Mrinalini Devi. The couple had 5 children. The abrupt suicide of Kadambari Devi soon after his marriage affected him a lot. Her death taught him the real perspective of the world. On the command of his father, in 1890, Tagore began managing the interest of vast ancestral estates in Bangladesh. That was the most fertile period of his creative activity. He gained insights into the life of the working class. He got an understanding of the social and economic ills which had crippled their lives. An aristocrat by birth and upbringing, this connected him with the soil of his land. These insights later became an asset for his success as a short story writer. In 1901, Tagore moved to Shanti Niketan to found an experimental boarding school. He wanted to replace the soulless and mechanical education with a creative one. In ancient India, sages lived with their disciples in the ashram and taught them to practice simple living and high thinking. Tagore wanted to bring educational reforms to the country. He considered lack of education to be the main obstacle in the progress of India. He was against bookish knowledge. Although both tuition and boardings were free, he found it tough to get enough funds and enough pupils for his schools. For a long time, he bore the full funding for the school. He had to sell his house at Puri, the jewelry of his wife, and royalties from his books to meet the expenses. He implemented the school with limited material resources. He advocated imparting education in the mother tongue. He participated in all the school activities and himself taught the children. Tagore never believed that we could acquire culture from a foreign university but emphasized obtaining scientific knowledge wherever available. Within a few months of his relocation to Shanti Niketan, his wife Mrinalini Devi died. Vishwabharati, Tagore's conception of a world university where the whole world meets in one nest, was established in 1921. Tagore put great emphasis on educating the entire population in their mother tongue. He did not want education to remain confined to the cities and particular classes of society. He put great emphasis on the education of women. He modeled the program of rural development on twin principles of self-help and enlightenment. He helped the peasants to build their schools and hospitals, roads, set up cooperative enterprises and banks. Later, 5-year plans of India for rural community development adopted this program for rural development. He firmly believed that freedom and innovation are linked. Education must develop the intellect as well as the creativity of a student. Tagore denounced the British Raj and from time to time participated in the Indian nationalist movement. He protested against the partition of Bengal in 1905. He made fiery speeches, composed patriotic songs, and led huge processions to show his support. He abandoned the struggle when it moved towards violence. He had to face severe criticism for this action. It was Tagore who addressed Gandhiji as Mahatma for the first time during his visit to Shanti Niketan. Although they disagreed on a range of issues related to the freedom struggle, nationalism, and politics, they remained devoted friends. He won the 1913 Nobel Prize in Literature. He was the first Indian, non-European, as well as the first lyricist to get this coveted award. He donated the entire prize amount to his school. 2 years after this, he was awarded a knighthood by King George V. Tagore renounced it in 1919 to protest against the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Mahatma Gandhi called him the great sentinel, the one who never fails to protest against any injustice or wrong. Tagore was against the abnormal caste consciousness and untouchability. He wrote about the injustice perpetrated to the Hindu woman in the name of holy scriptures and traditions. He made them the heroes for his poems and dramas. He mourned the socio-economic decline of Bengal and the perennial poverty of Calcutta. Between 1878 and 1932, Tagore sailed to more than 30 countries on 5 continents. He introduced the Indian culture to the West and met many intellectuals in the countries he visited that led him to emphasize cooperation between East and West in the field of humanistic studies. Tagore hated the rule by foreigners but believed that a society where an individual has lost all initiative and backbone must invite foreign exploitation. He advocated that rather than finding fault with the foreign governed rule, we must rouse a sense of dignity in our people. He wanted the young generation to become universal men and women like himself and to overcome feelings of narrow nationalism so that the world could live and grow in peace and fellowship. He was the first to use colloquial language in Bengali literature. Modern short stories are his gift to Indian literature. The vital theme of his poems was nature and love. Equal importance was given to verses dealing with national, social, and religious problems. Gitanjali, Gora, and Ghore Baire are his most popular works. Kabuliwala became one of the most lovable characters in Bengali fiction. The characters in his stories were real and vivid. He started a new genre in Bengali music known as Robindra Sangeet. His song collections Gito Bitan contains 2,265 songs that were all composed, tuned and sung by himself. Gurudev remained a student throughout his life. At the age of 70, Tagore developed a passion for painting. He is the only person in history whose compositions are chosen by 2 nations as national anthems, Jana Gana Mana of India and Amar Sonar Bangla of Bangladesh. The Sri Lankan national anthem is also largely influenced by his work. A period of illness marked his last 5 years. Critics believed that poetry from these years is among his finest. At the age of 80, on 7th August 1941, he died in the same Jorashanku mansion in which he grew up. As a poet, he will always delight and deepen our sensibilities. His songs will never cease to enchant his countrymen, and as a teacher, he will always enlighten.